Well, thanks so much for joining me today. So lots is at stake, obviously. I think many people are going to be watching the debate tonight. When you talk about what this means for Wall Street, what investors want to see, how do you see this playing out?
Well, there was a recent report of analysts, corporate analysts, about 1,100 of them, asking how the stock market would fare depending on who won the elections. If Sanders if Sanders won, the market would probably go down, and we'd probably lose, according to this consensus report, any of the gains that we had this year. However, if Bloomberg or Trump won, the market would go up. And so he's a Wall Street guy, and I think Wall Street is very, very comfortable with him being president. He has the Democratic National Committee is essentially broke. Most of the candidates have enough money to get through Super Tuesday, but after that, only one and maybe two other than Bloomberg will be able to get to the election. And because the Democrats don't have a winner-take-all primary caucus system, it's proportional. Mm-hmm. It's highly likely, with the way they've structured this thing, that nobody's going to win at the convention, and we're going to go into a second vote. And at that point, people can vote the way they want to vote. They don't have to vote their state's thing. And the superdelegates, about 1,900 of them, they're all establishment, Hillary Clinton type of Democrats, come in. And I think most of the political consultants I talk to, I live in Washington, D.C., think that Bloomberg has a real shot at getting this.
Well, my question to you is, how friendly is Michael Bloomberg to Wall Street? So we've heard the fact that you were saying that Wall Street would be satisfied if Michael Bloomberg won or if Donald Trump won, but Bloomberg was out with his Wall Street reform plan yesterday and introduced a 0.1% tax on all financial transactions, also talked about toughening the Volcker rule. Do you think that at all will make Wall Street a little bit hesitant?
You know, if you talk to people on Wall Street, after 2008 and 2009, a lot of people think that there's still work that has to be done. The Volcker rule just requires, really, that the banks have a higher level of reserves. Well, who's opposed to that? You know, I mean, we want them safer, not less safe. And in terms of the tax, well, we'll see whether that gets through a Republican Congress. I doubt whether it would. His tax on billionaires will not make about 0.1% of Wall Street happy, but the rest of the Republican Party, if you're going to raise taxes, they'd prefer it on billionaires, not on them. So I don't think that's going to make any difference.
Well, why do you think the markets have been able to shrug off this rise that we've seen of Bernie Sanders in the polls? So in the intro, I just read the fact that we had this recent NBC Wall Street Journal poll that showed Bernie Sanders really in the lead, yet Wall Street doesn't really seem to take notice yet. Why do you think that is?
They don't believe he's going to win. They don't believe he's going to win. And that really is the key. But the dirty little secret that nobody wants to talk about, either in the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, and I talked to, political strategists down in Washington, is that the Democrats, if Bernie wins, he's going to get all the progressive left, but they're going to be independents, they're going to be kind of moderate, Hillary Clinton type of Democrats who are just going to think he's going to ruin the economy, he's going to ruin my health care, I'll hold my nose and vote for Trump. Whereas if Mike Bloomberg wins, he will get all the Democratic Party, because they just hate Trump. They will do anything. Their dislike of Trump overrides everything else. And Bloomberg is going to get all the never-Trumpers, all the moderate Republicans, the suburban women who voted in the last election in 2018 for the Democrats. Those people, he's the only Democrat that could get the whole Democratic Party and a substantial portion of moderate Democrats. Trump only won the Electoral College by 74 74,000 votes. And I mean, that's not much. Mike Bloomberg is already ahead in Florida, which is filled with ex-New Yorkers down there. He can easily take the Electoral College vote away from President Trump. And, you know, boy, the Republicans don't want to say that publicly. The Democrats don't want to say. You basically have, this is a confusing election. You basically are going to have an election with a guy who was a liberal New York Hillary Clinton campaign supporter who's now a Republican and the president against a traditional Republican mayor who's now a Democrat. I mean, are you confused yet?
I know. Well, we'll see how it all shakes out. We have a couple more months to go. All right, Paul Dietrich, thanks so much for joining me today.